it's safe to say we'd like to turn every blue state red across the country. It would help a lot of our fellow Americans. If you're in a blue state right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The Association for Mature American Citizens is helping to do that. They don't give up on anybody. They're in California. They're in Maine. They're in all kinds of blue states. I want to bring in now, he's with AMAC, the Association for Mature American Citizens. He's a former Navy intel officer, former Assistant Secretary of State, and he's also now a Republican candidate for Maine governor. Robert Charles is with us. Robert, welcome back to the show.
Hey, it's great to be on your show, always.
All right. You got this Janet Mills character out in Maine. I think she's bad for Maine. She'd be bad for any state. Trump basically said, we're going to get you out of office. You set some fundraising records on that front. Is Trump behind that at all?
You know, I don't know that he's directly behind it, but I'll tell you the spirit of Donald Trump is awake in my campaign every day of the week. You're absolutely right. What's happened here is that common sense is making a comeback in the great state of Maine. We just raised, in 75 days, we just raised $325,000. We literally had probably almost 400 under the $100 mark. We actually raised more money at this stage of the campaign for governor as a Republican than any Republican in the history of the state. So, again, if people want to help, they go to bobbyformaine.com. But let me tell you what's really happening. Mainers, it's sort of the opposite of what's going on in New York City. Mainers are sick and tired of being used and abused by the Democrats in this state. They want their taxes cut. They don't want them increased. We have the highest property taxes in the country. They want drug traffickers out of this state. They do not want more illegal aliens here. They want to get rid of them. And so I'll tell you what I think is happening. Part of what's happening here is there is a wake-up call, an inflection point, an alarm ringing in people's ears here in Maine. They're saying, you know what? We have suffered long enough. We want to change. And so it's unbelievable. The sales are billowing. They are filled with energy in all 16 counties of this state.
So, Robert, let me ask you. I grew up in the Northeast. I would go up to vacation in Maine. It's one of the most beautiful states in the country. Yeah. I had always looked at it as somewhat like a Colorado-esque place. You would think this is a pick yourself up by your bootstraps. You'd think it would be ripe for Republican ideals and the free spirit and go out, you know, it gets cold and you got nobody there to help you but you and your family. Where did it go wrong along the way?
Yeah, excellent question. What happened is by a very small margin, the Democrats have controlled the legislature, and they have, with Mills, had literally the last two cycles as a governor. And what's happened is what's happened really is the Democratic Party, which used to be a Norman Rockwell party, has gone hard left, and it leaves nowhere for Democrats to go, which is why not only will we win the primary, but I really think we'll pull the traditional JFK, Harry Truman, even Carter Clinton Democrats our way, because at the end of the day, Mainers just want that exact description you gave. They want their Norman Rockwell America back. They want their income taxes down. And by the way, when we slash income taxes, all those New York companies that are scared to death now, they can all come back to Maine. We're going to rebuild the growth cycle here. We're going to, literally remake our education system, and we're going to make this state be that place it once was.
What's the percentage of independents, Republicans, and Democrats in your state?
You know, you almost have a 1-2-3, a division. And what a lot of the independents, of course, are also, they're also anti-government. They're libertarians. A lot of Mainers are just curmudgeonly folks that want the government, to get out of their face and let them have their life. That's what I grew up with. The town that I'm in right now is one that I grew up in. And, we were basically trained by World War II vets. This was a state very heavily filled with veterans. A lot of the values of the World War II era are the values that Mainers basically want back again. They want to be able to have choices in their life. They don't want mandates.
Are those people not signing up with a particular party?
We have what they call unaffiliateds, and then we have a very strong Republican Party, and the Democrat Party, which used to be more traditional, has gone hard left, and they are now really very hard left. I mean, they're almost unrecognizable.
This is why, Robert Charles, I think you have a really good shot at winning this. And especially money is king in politics, especially in Maine, because it could go a really, really long way. Media is cheap to buy in a state like that compared to where I am in Texas, try to buy a commercial in Dallas or New York City, can you imagine? With that, Robert Charles, I want to say thank you, and I want to give big props to the organization you work with, which is AMAC. And right now, folks, you can get a 5-year AMAC membership for only $35. Go to amac.us/grant. You get the AMAC magazine, all kinds of discounts, and you become part of a movement that's taking